We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Jersey Barnfire, a hot sauce company. If you're not familiar with, I strongly encourage you to look into. They've got some really good stuff. It is the apples and spice. So I hate the name of this. Well, I don't hate it, actually. I don't think it's very good. And I get into that discussion in the written review of this, which is available in the description below if you want to check that out. There's a link down there. But I'm not going to spend any time with it here. So we can see there is a lot of bits and pieces of, there's some pepper bits in here, some apple bits in here, all the good stuff that makes up this sauce. So we start with apple ciders and then apple cider vinegar, which thankfully doesn't read through in the flavor. Water, brown sugar, which does. That and apples are probably the two main flavors here. Yellow 7-pot primo peppers. Now, my assumption is that the yellows are somewhat milder, but those really don't read through particularly well in this either. And we round it out with spices and xanthan gum. The spices, I think, are probably like pie spices, maybe some nutmeg or something like that. So here's little bits and pieces. It could be salt. I'm sure there's salt in this. Could even be pepper, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. This is a particularly sweet sauce, so it is definitely what I would say is a dessert sauce. And, you know, Jersey Barnfire does a really good job of making dessert sauces with super hots. You can see it pours nice and thick. See, there's bits and pieces in there. It's not as thick as, say, an actual applesauce, but you've got very, very forward flavor with the brown sugar and the apples. It's a sort of brownish color that it reminds me of, you know, kind of like the crumble, maybe like a toffee crumble on a Dutch apple pie. And I was gonna get one of those. But I'm back on my trying to be a healthy kick, and I'm trying to dial back all that stuff. So I'm going to forego it for this one. But we will have something desserty, I promise, in this video. Stay tuned for that. So, but I mean, as you can see, it's a good looking sauce. I think it looks really good. And I passed this by a number of times just because of the name. Like apples and spice does not ring as a hot sauce to me, I guess, ultimately. And I would say this is also not a particularly hot sauce. It is far more of a dessert sauce. But the vinegar in there does cut down the sweetness quite a lot. So it's not a cloying sweet sauce by any means. So, all right, let's just get on into it. A little bit of the texture of the apples there. Flavor again. Heavy brown sugar and apple. There is a little undercurrent, a little back end of heat there. Very, very little though. This is not a particularly hot sauce. I gave it a 1 as far as heat. And at the time I thought I was being generous, but as I get into the bottle more, I'm starting to pull out a little bit more of those notes of the heat. So I think a 1's pretty fair for heat. Definitely not. This isn't a challenging sauce. It's a little sparkle. You know, a little thing where you go, ooh, you know, how delightful. It is not blazing by any stretch of the imagination. So, all right, let's get some nummies here. And we're going with chicken strips. This probably be the last time I eat this till grilling season starts. It is mid-April as I film this, but I don't know if you can see behind me, but again, cold weather streak. going on and on and on and on. And so I'm not going to get to grilling season until May at the earliest. But I do want to save this for, I'm going to do a marinade with this with some chicken thighs and also with a nice pork cutlet on the grill, because I think that's going to be fantastic. But this is a sauce that I don't mind playing around with. And, you know, once I get caught up on all the new stuff, who knows, maybe I'll get another bottle of it and start playing around with different recipes and so on. I keep wondering about that, you know, if I ever get caught up on new sauces, you know, if that day ever comes, what kind of content am I doing? I think it might be stuff like that, just me playing around with sauces and trying to pair them to foods and doing a little bit of cooking with them. Not really see anybody doing that type of content. But, you know, if you go to the playlist, there's a lot of videos for products that reviews don't exist anywhere else. I'm the only one who's done any of those, whether it be on the blog or whether it be, you know, on YouTube. Hitting a lot of, you know, unique stuff. I like that. You know, it's maybe not getting a lot of attention for all this stuff, but, you know, with attention, some is always better than none, right? And you never know, you know, when the right word goes in the right ear, you know, and maybe somebody's going to discover something they love but never knew about until they saw the video. You know, I'm keen on that idea. Most of all, it's great fun though. Trying all this stuff and doing a little sharing with you guys. I mean, I wish it was my job. For sure, but still, even now, it's, you know, it's all for pleasure. It's all for fun. It's a labor of love, just like the blog. I keep thinking about how good this is going to be with a little bit of caramelization. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good here, but you know, in this setting, I'd say it's more of a good and a change of pace sort of context. Getting this on some of that pork is really, really what I'm excited about. You know, if it ever warms up enough for me to actually start grilling. It's a problem with having an old crappy grill, you know. I mean, I don't want to stand out there in that stuff either, but when you try to grill when it's cold, it takes a lot more fuel and you can't even necessarily get up to the right temperature. The newer grills are better at that, I'm sure. Not mine. Mine's this old ragged warhorse. So, at this point, I really don't have a burn at all to speak of. Which is a bit of a shame. Okay. delicious sauce, but that's the thing kind of with dessert sauces is they're not necessarily what I think of first when it comes to accompaniments to, like lunch or dinner, kind of the entree part of things. Well, I think it was more dessert. So here we've got this absurd monstrosity. It's this. It is a Banquet apple pie, and so I noticed that they were having these Banquet pot pies for $1, and it had been well over 30 years since I've had one of these Banquet pot pies. And they were garbage. You had a lot of them in the 70s and 80s, and they were garbage then. And, but, every once in a while you get a hankering for a little nostalgia hit, a little throwback to the food of your childhood, I suppose. And I thought, oh, that might be a nice change of pace. And that experiment is over. That didn't last very long, because these are pretty rubbish. But I did notice that they also had apple pies, which they did not have when I was a kid. So this is one I have not tried yet. They also had a couple, what was one of the new ones? They had what was it? It was like a scalloped potato. It was a ham and potato gravy type thing. And I tried one of those. They had some breakfast ones. I tried everything I could find. And, fair shake. That's over now, though. So, anyway, we've got this. And, it comes in this little pie tin. And they used to come in actual metal, like foil pie tins. And those were better. This is kind of like the sleeve of a Hot Pocket, and it sucks. And hopefully we can get this stupid pie out of here. Yeah, see, it just... Alright, well, we'll see if the pie itself is any good. Doesn't this look appetizing? Yum, right? Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah, I got some burnt, a little bit of, well, I guess not really burnt, but my artifact. Alright. Yay. Okay, so here's what the apple pie looks like. Oh, you can't have, well, I guess you can, but I'm not going to have apple pie without some ice cream. This is the Kroger Deluxe Churn Vividly Vanilla. This is on sale for like a couple bucks, so I said, hey, what the hell. I like the Private Selection Vanilla Bean better, to be, if I'm being honest here, but this one's fine. I keep this around for reasons, right? And I usually choose vanilla to keep around, also for reasons. And I'll maybe get into those someday if I ever get enough subscribers. So we get to 1,000, we'll start doing some of those videos, some of the maybe longer form, almost essay videos where I start to talk about some of the philosophy behind certain things for being a chili head, but we're not there yet, so won't be in this video. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna gotta save enough for the pork chops and that chicken. Look at this. I opened this like 2 days ago, and I'm already halfway through the bottle. Lovely, lovely sauce, though. No question. All right, let's see how it does as an actual dessert item, though. I haven't tried it on dessert because, like I said, I'm trying to eat cleanly. And this is the first dessert thing I've had since I've started that, so see how it goes. I forgot to get a baseline, but the apple pie is pretty hard to screw up. This is fantastic on the apple pie, of course. Wow. Amazing job, once again, Jersey Barnfire. Good with the ice cream. Man, this is excellent. What a good way of ending. This is an excellent cap after those strips.
Gorgeous.
This almost makes me want to try baking a pie, an apple pie. Just so I can play with this. Fantastic though. Great, great, great job. What can I say? I mean, Jersey Barnfire makes some really good stuff. This is one of them. Just a very, really low-key bit of heat. Sure going to come on a little bit, but not. I find Primos to be kind of a building pepper after all that. So, probably an ounce or two of sauce. And we're finally getting a little bit of a tingle, but it is really, really low-key. Absolutely delicious sauce. If you like apples and you're like me and you lean a little bit heavier onto the brown sugar side of things with your fruits, this is a fantastic sauce to get. It is delicious. I don't think it goes with everything, but as far as a dessert sauce, absolutely one of the better ones I've had. No question about that. As a hot sauce, as a dessert sauce, though, I shouldn't say that. As a hot sauce, based on what I've had it on so far, But we'll try grilling it. We'll try it as a grill sauce and see how it goes. Of course, I will update the written review as well if I find anything that needs to be updated from that experiment. I have high hopes for it. But as a dessert sauce, it is tremendous. It definitely is changing my thinking about if hot sauces can be dessert sauces. The Hellfire Sorceress, and there's a written review as well as a video for that available if you want to check that out, was one of the sauces that really kind of changed my mind. But this is the second one from Jersey Barnfire that has really sort of gravitated me onto that concept, of hot sauces or a hot dessert sauce, I guess, if you will. And I don't know that anybody is necessarily doing it better than these guys. So definitely check out Jersey Barnfire. They have some additional sauces outside of this that are also excellent. And of course, you can go to the table of contents on the blog and look through all the ones that I've done. And all the reviews where I've done videos will link, of course, to those videos as well within the written review. So, but anyway, definitely a very delicious sauce. Very, very pleasant surprise. Another great piece of work from Jersey Barnfire. Go check them out. And we're going to leave it there. So there it is. The Jersey Barnfire Apples and Spice Hot Sauce. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.